ask you, are you allowed to change a pet's name after you've named the pet? Is that allowed? I'm not sure. Have you ever done that? Have you ever named a pet and then, you know, their behavior makes you change their name? Because I'm telling you, one of these cats that my daughter named a beautiful name, I'm pushing for its name to be changed to Mayhem, because that's what it causes. Cat was adorable when it was little. Adorable. The thing was so sweet, so innocent. It was the runt. And it grew up to just cause mayhem. That's it. That's all it does. It was sitting in the shelf of fall decor. Yep, I hear you. The cat was sitting in the shelf of fall decor, just sitting there. And I said, my Christ, thing even looks like a Halloween decoration. How are you? What are you doing? Where are you? What part of the year is it where you are? Oh, we're gonna go over some news. We're gonna go over some news in just a minute, though. Oh, come on. I'm telling you, this, I'm trying to get this, Emily, how are ya? Good to see you. Em, what do you think? I was asking people if you're allowed to change a pet's name after you've already named the pet. Of course, it needs to be democratic consent. I'm trying to do it on my own. Please stop. Everybody can hear you. We know. Okay. Let's see. You gotta be joking me. Why is this not working? Hold on. You gotta give me a second. I'm so mad right now. I had a soundboard to play sounds on, and it's just not working at all. What did it say? Visit the settings. Help. Help. I need help. Oh, here's settings. Here we go. Audio status disconnected. Oh my God. Oh my God. It started working. Riders on the Storm. Isn't Poet, is that what you called one of your pets? Riders on the Storm? That would be a long ass name. Come here, Riders on the Storm. Okay, can I finally have my soundboard back? Huh? Okay, we got it back. Thank you.
Well, thanks for your money.
Yeah. I love it. I love it. Yes. All right, we got it. I was trying to play this.
Mine?
My God. All right, welcome. So yeah, I think the consensus is you can change a pet's name. You don't etch it in stone right away, right? There's no way that like once you name a pet, you're set to it. It might be confusing for the animal. Don't think twice. It's all right. I like that, Poet. Thank you. Yeah, and I only say that, you know, not because anybody else in the family wants to change the cat's name, but this cat who's just, she's not even down here right now. She's just such a little ball of mayhem that I'm like, can we just call her Mayhem? Can we just call her Ghost Mayhem? Mayhem Ghost? Because she looks like a Halloween decoration, and no matter what room she's in, this friggin' cat, she tried to pull down the light the other day, it gets up in the plant, it does stuff where you're like, I don't even know how you got there, but, you know, obviously you are an agile species. All right, so what's in the news, guys? The news has been absolutely mental. Stop doing this, computer. I'll tell Joe Rogan.
But I thought that was funny.
Thank you, RM. The Austin comedy scene. Oh, here. Have you guys seen this video on Reddit? I don't know where it's out of. I do not know where this video comes from. I'm guessing. Hi, Clop. Clip Clop. Where's Clip Clop? That's an old horse joke. What was I gonna say?
Close enough.
No, not really. People don't like dad jokes. Shut up, soundboard.
You don't talk against my newsman like that, or you go to hell.
Well, thank you, RM. You heard him. You can't talk against me. So did anybody see this video? It's circulating the viral web if you have that thing called the internet. And it's absolutely bananas. Now, if you don't know me, I'm Rob. This is, hold on. Let me get the thing so I could show you the thing. This is my Vision Quest you're joining. Remember how like Joe Rogan got real popular before he started doing state propaganda for the Trump regime? And Joe Rogan was like, this is an experience, man, or whatever he said. And now he's just the comedy czar of Austin with authoritarian rule where he steals jokes like Carlos Mencia used to. I wish, if anybody knows Carlos Mencia, you should call him and say, bro, you got to come out of retirement and show up in Austin and be like, Joe, you're stealing jokes. That would be great. So yeah, if anybody knows Carlos Mencia, I can't tell. But if you do, don't raise your hand. Stop doing that. Just call him and say, Carlos, you're in need. But yeah, so I call this a vision quest. It's one better. If you liked Joe Rogan, well, you're not going to like me because I'm not state propaganda. I'm not going to have bankers on talking about debanking. I'm not going to have Bruno Marco Mars. Mark Mars Zuckerberg. Bruno Zuckerberg Mars. I'm not going to have Bruno Zuckerberg Mars on. You know, the Dominican Mark Zuckerberg who appeared on Joe Rogan. I'm not going to have him on to pretend he doesn't know what the CFPB means. What could that mean? I'm not gonna feed your head with what do they call it? They call it the rubbish. They call it the rubbish. They say,
Yeah, you shut the hell up, you moron.
that's what they say. So I'm not going to do that. But what I will do is bring you on one thing better than an experience, and this is just wisdom talking here. The next step up is a vision quest. So, you know, Joe Rogan wants you to suffer and try to go for a dream job. There are even people that get in my chat and go, why don't you get a real job? Meanwhile, they listen to people like Joe Rogan who does what I do. And I say, just dream, man. Just dream. And how are we going to accomplish that? Look, it's all right here. We're going to tax wealth, not work. Okay? We're going to do it, folks. We're going to do it together. But part of that vision quest is talking about this stuff. These are my favorite animals on the earth, next to crows and wolves. These are called orcas. You might know them as a killer whale, depending on what neighborhood you're in. And this video was posted to the Reddit, and it is terrifying. And you can tell because the lady filming. I'm going to play some of the audio. This is crazy.
Hold on. It's okay. Hi. I'm just saying.
No, they really didn't have to put that like siren man, siren head. What is he called? They didn't have to put that in there. But can you hear this lady panicking, going, "It's okay, it's okay, it's okay." This is one of those conundrums in life where it's like you are out paddleboarding, and 3 orcas stroll up to investigate what you are. Bananas. I don't know. I'm still, even watching this video for the 4th time, I'm like, I would probably be hyperventilating too if I was on my paddleboard and 3 orcas showed up. But I would also, like, it's such a weird thing. It is a paradox because I would be wanting to pet them and saying like, hi friend, but I would be so terrified because they're clearly ginormous. You're in air territory. That's right. You are, Firefly. You are in their territory at that point. But here's the thing. The video ends. I'll speed it up a little. You hear her having a panic attack. And then the most terrifying part of this video is you see one of them. These orca whales will like go straight up and down instead of swimming. So you can just see the white on its tummy, and then they sink away and disappear, and you have no idea. Are they done with me? Did they figure out what they needed to? These are brilliant animals, by the way. They teach younger ones like their specific ways of hunting. If you don't know about orcas, go watch a documentary on them. These huge, terrifying species left this lady alone. And from what I've heard, they're pretty nice as long as they're not in captive in SeaWorld. They get a bad rap, you know? Would you want to live in a big tank? Oh, skibbity doodah. What's up, JM? Oh, I gotta get a skibbity. I gotta get a
Random.
I gotta get a skibbity toilet clip, but I'm pretty sure they don't say anything, right? She was craftier worm. She was incredibly lucky. Because, I mean, think about it. All it takes is for them to be curious enough to, like, nudge that, and she's in the water. And once you're in the water, you know, all bets are off. Once you start splashing around like prey, it becomes a different story. I love this, though. Look at that one. He's like, I'm going to stay back, man. Those things, I don't trust those things on the paddle boards. I love whales, dolphins, otters. He should have been a mermaid. Hey, it's never too late, you know? Shoulda. The whales are pissed at humans. They know we are yeah. Well, that's also why I love orcas. You might have heard stories of them taking down the yachts off the Iberian Peninsula. They are extremely intelligent and normally wouldn't attack humans. But even though they normally wouldn't attack, and she probably had that in the back of her head, this is a terrifying encounter. Absolutely horrific. So I just wanted to bring that to your attention. Not really for any reason, just because I love these animals and thought it was such a cool, what a amazing opportunity. And hard to not be terrified, but also in awe at the same time. We got to come up with a word for that. Awe-ified. She was terrified. She was terrified. There we go. That works. And that's the new word for it. So welcome. I went whale watching. Saw the J-Pod. They're amazing. Lindsay, where was that off of? I believe there's a lot of places to go whale watching. Yep.
Whoa, my man.
Whoa, my man. Off Seattle. Okay. Oh, so you're saying J-Pod. I think they have the orcas named out there. Because if you go whale watching off of the New England coast, you go for about 2 hours. You see one humpback whale, and then you come 2 hours back. And it's not the funnest, but it's cool to see a whale. Remember Jacques Cousteau? Love that show. I don't know that show, but I know what's the Bill Murray? I love that Bill Murray. God, why am I blanking? Life Aquatic with Steve Zissou. It's a Wes Anderson joint. If you've never seen the Bill Murray Life Aquatic with Steve Zissou, I'm gonna watch that now tonight because that's such a great flick. Oh, the little kittens are crying. All right. So what else is in the news? The news has been mental, guys. Number one, I don't know. This got distracted this week. That there was a huge trove of email leaks. Release the files, not the PH files, the F files. But there has been so much, and one of the saddest things that we got to go over this. I know it's going to be way out of Zoom because I didn't take the picture right. You want to memorialize Tupac too? Oh, I should have named the cat Tupac. Anyways, yeah, Lindsay, the trove of emails in the Epstein saga is incredible. Even the UK, I think they had to fire one of their ambassadors or something because of this new trove, this new data dump that we got. But also today, 29 years ago, I believe it's 29 years ago today, We lost this legend who left an amazing legacy. Go watch one of his movies, listen to one of his songs, read some of his poetry. So rest easy, Pac. But I did want to talk about the mental news. Where was it? There was, is this the story? Hello. Yeah. This is the story. Brian killed me, Fox and Friends. Hello. What are you doing? What are you doing? You just want to hang out? Okay. Hi. Oh, you're such a good kitty. So I don't know if you caught this. This kind of slipped through my radar because, you know, I don't watch the Foxes. He was very, very famous. Oh, yeah, Jacques Cousteau. I know who that is. I didn't know he had a TV show, Firefly. That's what I was saying. I do not remember. I watched Steve Irwin. I watched Croc Dundee. I watched a lot of Australians. But I didn't know Jacques Cousteau had a TV show. And the reason I brought that up is because they mention, I think it's Jacques Cousteau in The Life Aquatic with Steve Zissou. Spectator of Caesar's Games. Are you not entertained? Correct, Chachi. Chachi. Correct. It's all entertainment and distractions. But did you guys see this? I want to actually play this for you. If you didn't see it, it's okay. I'm going to play it. Here we go. Now this is, I don't know who these two knuckleheads are, but I know that Brian Kilmeade fellow, because I think he's been there the longest. Cousteau's show is very old, Super Doggy. Give the peasants entertainment and they won't revolt. That's right, Lindsay. Circuses and bread, as I believe it was once said. That's great, Super Doggy. I'm going to have to look that up because I had no idea that Jacques Cousteau had a show. And now I'm going to have to show this to my kids. Oh, the Undersea World. No, wait. 68 to 76? He had a ton of shows. You got to be kidding me. Thank you for the information. Until 66. That is insane. I did not know. And now I'm going to look it up. Is it free on Tubi? I love Tubi. Tubi, Pluto, all them free ones. That's where we watched. If you're a fan of Steve Irwin, I don't know if they still have it on there now. Will says he was a developer of Scuba. That's fascinating. Yeah, it is even older. It says the Undersea World of Jacques Cousteau was from 68 to 76, and then they had Cousteau Amazon in 84, Cousteau's rediscovery of the world, New Zealand, Cuba, and Cape Horn since 86, and then he had a few other randos. But that is bewildering. I was so unaware. My grandfather and his brother were his camera guys. Look up Ron Church photography. Ooh. Old Ron Church. That sounds like a good photographer. That's where the saying Oz church came from. Or that's where when people go church. I believe it comes from your grandfather. Because it was such a good photographer. He took such good photographs. Oh yeah, a lot of surfers. So your grandfather, again, loose interpretation, but I'm pretty sure he took such good photos. They would go, that's a church. And then modern day, you hear people say church. Linny and Bubs give kitties treats. No, what is happening is the cat wants to open the door, and I'm not opening the door because for an hour before I came live, I would open the door and she would go up. And then she would come down to the door and meow on the outside. And I would open the door and she would sit there and stare at me. The animals just like to mess with me. That's all it is. No, kitty. Kitty, you can't go outside. I'm sorry. I know. Come on. Come here. Maybe. The cat is telling you meow. Lindsay says, I thought it was my cat. I love that. That only happens to me though when I hear a police siren in a song or on something I'm watching. I'm like, they also invested in surf photography. They made photos for the original Al Surf magazine with the underwater cameras from the Calypso with the Jacques team. That is amazing. Yeah, keys. We're going to get to that. Sorry, I got a little distracted. We were talking about Jacques Cousteau, the great underwater pioneer. Invented scuba. We got Joshua Church. His grandpa Ron took photos for him. You can look it up online like I just did. One day, if you hit subscribe, if enough people hit subscribe, hit the like button, and we can build this baby out, as they say in show business. Build her out. I'll have a whole setup where I can bring stuff up for you guys. We can do it live. Just like the Rogan, the Joe-gram, the Polio Rogan program. I think that's what it's called. Just like he does it. Well, he doesn't really bring stuff up, but I would. The Mediterranean was much more pristine. Well, I mean, let's face it, all of our oceans. So where I'm at, you know, just a little north up the coast, there's the lobsters in Maine, and they keep talking about how the slightest change in temperature can wipe them out. And when you know, like, lobstermen and fishermen, that's what they do, it's sad, you know, that we're not taking more precautions to secure our future on this planet. And there are some people who have really bought into, like, let's go to Mars. And I encourage you. Here, I'll just Google it. Can a human survive in Mars radiation? No. There we go. We had to Google that. No, humans cannot safely survive on Mars in the long term without significant radiation protection. So how would you like to never be able to take your clothes off, never take a shower because this is a dusty planet? But I was watching this whole documentary on somebody debunking Elon Musk, and it wasn't when his daughter Vivian went on to Hassan. When she went on, it was so funny because she was like, you know, that whole Mars thing is a grift just to get more money, to keep the venture capital flowing so he's, you know, not all dried up. Come here. Come here. Come here. Just come chill for a minute. I'm not letting you up there, okay? But so I was watching this YouTuber who was debunking the whole Mars. You're like, I don't trust them. I don't trust some of them. He's such a good kitty. He's such a good kitty. Yeah. Oh, okay. And the dude talked about here on Earth we have the poles, right? And the magnetic poles, and it protects us from Earth's radiation. Can you show them how big it is? Put your paw up. Put your paw up on mine. Okay. And I love when people say J-Rock 5000 says, of course you have a cat. Somebody says that all the time. So I have a dog too, but I want to take a time out real quick, and then we'll talk about how you can't survive on Mars, and it's breaking some dude's heart that, you know, science proves Elon Musk wrong because he thinks he's got to be smart. He has $1 billion, guys. And the funniest part is when people are like, of course you have a cat, or I forget what the dude said the other day. Said something about, like, you know, I don't trust somebody with a cat. And I wanted to take a minute to just think about what they're really saying. Have you ever heard, like, somebody in 8th grade, very insecure of themselves? They feel like they got to project a lot and bully people. They're not comfortable with themselves. Got a big ego. These are the people that still, you know, like, we haven't come that far as a species, because these are the people like J-Rock who says, of course you have a cat. And I'm like, so what does that mean? You don't listen to people if they have cats. You think something about people if they have cats. The only acceptable thing is, like, cats scare me. I have allergies. To say, like, you know, or if you don't have animals at all, which Donald Trump doesn't, so I don't trust a person that's never around animals. Animals go off of instincts, and they'll tell you a lot. Hey, please don't eat the plug, okay? Please don't eat the plug. I know you want to chew on that because it looks like a 20. But this is just the lesson, because, like, there's a lot of insecure men that are feeling isolated and lonely out there. And if you love cats, go get a cat. Don't be scared to be yourself. And if people like J-Rock 5000, tough name guy, you know, I'm sure you listen to the Polio Rogan program. But don't be scared of people like J-Rock. They're going to try to bully you. They're going to try to go, of course you got a cat. What does that mean, J-Rock? Say the rest of it. You know, of course. So what? Finish your statement. Of course you have a cat. Yada 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 yada. It was like an open-ended, leave it up to interpretation. I'm gonna kind of bully you, but I'm not smart enough to bully you. Stupid stuff that you're saying. And I hear it a lot. And it's funny because I don't put my dog in my lap because my dog's doing something else. You know, dogs do what they want. My cats fucking love me. My cats won't leave me alone. But it's such a unique behavior of certain, and this is very American. I'm sure there's some UK white dudes that are probably in their 20s, extremely insecure with themselves, probably dying to get a cat, but don't want to be called the slang for a cat. And I just thought it's immensely childish. You know, we got to squash that behavior. That's why I will pause everything that I'm doing to comment on J-Rock. Are you still here? Or have you gone to your Polio Rogan program? Or are you doing push-ups? I'm guessing you're so tough you just do push-ups while you watch YouTube. Fucking losers. But it's funny to me that I keep getting these comments. Like, of course you got a cat. What does that mean? Does anybody have a say? Can MAGA go to Mars? Marina, I am praying every day that Elon Musk, he wants a Neuralink chip in his brain and to go to Mars. I said, bud, you could take all my taxes if you just go. One-way ticket, put the chip in your brain and get the fuck out. I do a lot of push-ups, Rob, chill. Oh, sorry, President Reagan. Hey, nothing against push-ups. Sometimes it's the people doing them. Why do you call it Polio Rogan? Lindsay, because he's advocating for it. Smallpox Rogan doesn't flow as naturally. The old MMR Joe Rogan experience doesn't really roll off the tongue. Kimmers. Yeah, but I want J-Rock 5000 who made the comment. Oh, of course you got a cat. Because I'm trying to get in the heads of these very lonely incel-styled men who, you know, try to make fun of people for having a cat. Like, I want to figure it out. I want to figure it out because you're either scared of cats, which is okay, J-Rock, say that, or you have an allergy. Other than that, what is it? Are you trying to bully me? Because I don't like bullies. And I'd like you to highlight if you're just trying to be a dick and try to bully me. Because there's people like you that are going to do that to other people in your life, and you're going to try to do it seriously. And what I will tell you is if you start influencing those people like that and not letting them be who they want to be, you're anti-American. You don't believe in freedom because we have the freedom to get cats here. My King Corso will eat you, but he loves my cat. Cameras. My cousin has a couple of those. So yes, true. It's just funny, you know, because no matter what, because my cats are going to jump in one of my cats likes to ride around the house on my shoulder. It's like a parrot. It doesn't know it's a cat, you know, it's more of a parrot. You could see my avatar. My avatar is my cat laying on my shoulders, trying to just sleep there while I need to get stuff done. Lindsay, but I'm not anti-vax. I know they have saved lives. I just need to find out when some people aren't affected and some aren't. Yeah, but it's nothing like Joe says. The whole Polio Rogan program has done a huge disservice to America and its people by spreading clearly debunked misinformation. I mean, just Google Joe Rogan gets tricked by TikTok. Just do that. He gets tricked by the dumbest stuff. It's amazing to me people can ever take him serious. And the whole thing is like he's not a comic, but he claims to be a comic. So it's like, don't be a scientist, you know? Don't, Joe. Something happens to people when they get $100 million and something happens to their audience. This is like a weird phenomenon we have here in America. Somebody will get really rich and they'll think, well, I got this rich, so I'm smart, right? I've even worked for people who weren't that rich, but they were like, you know, I didn't get this much money because I was wrong. And it's like, no, because you're a dickhead, you know, and you exploited people around you. But Joe, you know, got $100 billion and all of a sudden became like this expert banker, scientist, the all-around jack of all, you know, politics guy. And his audience turned into like, well, if he got that much money, like they don't understand. He got that much money for having an audience, not for being a scientist, not for being a comic. He got that much money because of his audience. That is it. They wanted to have him so they could get you to their platform and advertise to you. That's how it works. I don't know if people know that. Spotify Daniel Elk, coincidence? Joe eats the heart out of elks. I don't even think he kills them. I don't even think he hunts them. I think he just chases them down and like a werewolf eats the heart right out of them. I don't know though. I've never seen it. But some people have been massively confused and think because of his status as a 100 millionaire, that qualifies him to speak on things. And it's a very dumb intellect we have here in America. But he was funny back in the day in news radio with Phil Hartman. Well, Phil Hartman was funny in that. Everyone gets tricked by social media. That's not a cop-out. He does claim to be a scientist, DeBoss. He tries to speak with authority on subjects. And everyone does get tricked by social media. He's the only one that you got to go watch the clips. And I'm saying this because I've seen it. He's the one who goes, "This is the world today." And then what's that kid's name? Jamie? Jamie will be like, "Joe, it's fake." And he really, but again, you got to remember, he's a 100 millionaire. He lives in a bubble. He does not go into public. He has no kind of no kind of understanding of what daily life is like. So he lives through this virtual internet space. So when he sees stuff, he thinks that's what it's like, They're just disconnected from reality. You can't blame him from that, but you can blame him from not trying to be in touch with things. Kimmers, I just found your site. I'm super impressed. Good job. Ooh, I appreciate you. Wait. You're kidding me. It's not working again? I apologize.
But I thought that was funny.
I don't know why my soundboard keeps doing this.
2 hours later.
Yeah, not the best soundboard. I gotta get another one. Okay, but let's talk about some news. Amen to common sense, bro. Yeah, that was real. Why would you do that? Really, my turning point with the Polio Rogan program was back in 2020. He was talking about how masks make sense and how doctors wear them, and it obviously stops the spread of germs. Like, this was his logic. And then something happened. Well, what happened is he gave it away. He what do they call it? Self-snitch? He told on himself. In his interview with Bill Burr, he said, Bill, he was trying to bully Bill about wearing a mask. And Bill was like, "You're going to sit here smoking a cigar in front of the American flag, pretend like you know better than a doctor?" Even though Joe at one point was like, "It makes sense." And you can tell this is how fragile of an ego Joe has. In that, Bill Burr said, it was like rollerblades. Everybody rollerbladed at one point back in the 90s. Everybody's rollerblading. There's movies about it. Mighty Ducks, they do roller hockey in it. And then one person made the joke that it's gay, and all the rollerblades got thrown away. And Joe was laughing at it, and that was an admission. Like, that was Joe, that's his story. Like, the people he was surrounded by, all the tough guys, I don't believe in science, except unless it's my science, then I believe in it. And that's all it was, And when you're in that manosphere, everyone's calling each other gay or, making fun of each other, whatever you're saying. That manosphere, it's all about peacocking, where you got to puff out your chest and walk around with your stupid feathers out. And he avoided common sense over his ego. And it was really his downfall. But I thought it was so poignant with Bill Burr to point that out, that it was like, that's it, Joe. You got made fun of and you couldn't take it. You're a fragile little baby. Thank you, President Reagan. Dana White converted him to jackassery. I call it ass-hattery, but I like jackassery too. All right, let's play this news because I want to get to this. Because in the span of this week and all the stuff that's happened, that horrible person shuffled loose this mortal coil. You got people on Fox News. I don't know what day this happened. It was probably yesterday. Again, I don't care. Fox News is just absolutely rubbish. But this whole week, you heard people saying, the left is condoning whatever, and people's trying to say, like, you know, no more political violence. And I just want to point out what I didn't see a Stephanie, but hello, Stephanie. Oh, hello, Stephanie. But I just want to point out, because I want people to wake up to this, that political violence isn't, you know, just what we saw this week. But it also happens to be when people advocate for your government to do certain things, policies, not giving people health care or allowing people that are poor to die because they can't afford it. When we have enough food, and instead of, because you can't make a profit on it, you let people starve. When we have enough housing, especially in the winter, in places that get cold, or the summer, places that get hot. Look at Arizona, or look at the north in the winter. When you have enough shelter and the government refuses to do anything about it, that is also political violence. And I want you to listen and see if you can figure out if what this dude is calling for, the government to do something about homeless people, which we've all learned on this channel, that if you give them housing and counseling, it costs less for the taxpayer, and it works. Utah, weirdly enough, dropped their homelessness by 72 to 4%. I forget. They almost eradicated it and saved the taxpayer money. In fact, they don't. They defund it. That's the first thing they defund, is healthcare, mental health, homeless, anything that isn't the military, they defund. So let's listen to this clip.
This is one case, but this is happening all across the country, and it's not a money issue.
It is. Here's the thing that Fox News is good at, propagandizing people. You know, if you're homeless, it's a money issue. That's it. I would like to know how that guy gets a house. Does he not get one with money? It's strictly a money issue. And the thing is our government and a lot of the people don't think that it's something that, they don't believe human life should be funded. They don't believe the welfare of our people is a good thing. They've been taught by shows like this that welfare is a bad word, even though the Nordic Scandinavian countries have the biggest welfare states ever, and they have the happiest people every freaking year. But they've tricked you to think that you're not homeless yet. So you should be with us, the people that say, you know, it's housing isn't a money issue. You hear how stupid that, like, and they allow this on TV, and some people, because he dresses in a suit and tie, think like he must be a smart man. They put him on the television. And I could just prove to you right now, like, if you're at home, you're probably watching me on a television. Doesn't mean anything. I'm on your TV. It does not mean anything. And this guy, because he works for Fox, which is Rupert Murdoch, the Australian dude who loves division, he profits off division, said, hey, let's get a black guy to say that, you know, homelessness, not having a house, isn't a money issue. What a moron.
They have given billions of dollars to mental health and the homeless.
They haven't. In fact, that's one of the biggest issues in our country right now, that they don't fund mental health. That, have you ever tried to get a mental health appointment? It's insane. That they don't put any money back in to our communities, you know, especially when it comes to healthcare. It's kind of crazy. Michael DeSalvio, millions and millions shook their heads up and down to what these idiots say. And it's shocking. It's shocking because if you just stop and think about what he's saying, like, hey, having a house isn't a money issue. How do you get your houses? I would really like to know how maybe it's not a him money issue. Maybe his daddy bought his house. I don't know, because usually when people say dumb stuff, you like to go, excuse me, are you taking audience questions? I would just like to know if houses don't cost money, what do they cost? Yeah, I'm watching you on YouTube saying stupid things. That's right, Trolling King USA. I like that your troll account has established it's USA. I'm pretty sure by your stupidity, the rest of the world could have figured it out.
Population, a lot of them don't want to take the programs. A lot of them don't want to get the help that is necessary.
I would love to figure out when this guy went on the streets and asked a lot of them that they didn't want to take any help. As somebody who is formerly homeless and who has family that is homeless, let me tell you that's one of the biggest traps. That these shelters are only for a finite amount of time, that there's really no reincorporation into society and community, whereas other countries have figured this out. But again, stupid people listen to guy in suit say, oh yeah, of course the homeless they're just loving being homeless. You know, don't you see all those homeless people being like, I don't want a home. What are you, a home? Get out of here. The government already threw billions at this. That's stupid. I don't want a home. What do you think of doing? Go ask the families that got laid off, or go ask the farmers, the soy farmers. I would like this guy to go ask the soy farmers. The audio we played of them last week crying to Donald Trump, saying, Mr. Trump, you said you loved us. Now we'd like to see the fruits of your love. That's a quote from the Arkansas soy boy farmers. They farm soy. They are soy boys. And they're crying to Trump because they're saying we're going to lose our farms. So I wonder if this guy would like to go ask them, why are you so upset? All the homeless people like to be homeless. They don't want help. They don't want, what did he say?
Billions of dollars to
Dude, they've already given you billions of dollars, soy boy farmers in Arkansas that were complaining this week that the tariffs are going to kill your business and rich people are going to come in and buy it up. And when you were crying to Donald Trump, this black dude on Fox is saying billions of dollars. We already give you billions of dollars. Let's see what else he has to say about the Arkansas soy boy farmers that are going to go homeless.
mental health and the homeless population. A lot of them don't want to take the program.
Oh, that's weird. A lot of them don't want the help. They don't want any help. That's so weird, because the soy boy farmer video that we played on my show, they were begging the government for help. Some people, maybe in Arkansas, would say that was socialism. They would say, yucky, you want the government to help? Yucky, you're socialist. But these soy boy farmers were proud, standing there teary-eyed, wearing their dumb hats and overalls going, Mr. Trump, please help us. Please, the government needs to help us. So they wanted the government's help. But again, this guy says, nope.
Programs. A lot of them don't want to get the help that is necessary.
Yep, that's it. Figured it out. Solved it. Let's hear what this absolute scum on the bottom of my shoe, that the shoes I threw away because you couldn't even donate them, and then you lit the trash on fire because it was so rancid, has to say.
You can't give them a choice. Either you take the resources that we're going to give you, or you decide that you're going to be locked up in jail. That's the way.
Okay, so before we get to it, this guy says, we already spent billions and they don't want the help, right? We figured this out. We already spent all the money and they said no. So now he's saying, now you have to take the help or you go to jail. Is everybody paying attention? This is high intellect stuff right here. Let's hear what his solution is. Are you ready? Trigger warning.
Way it has to be now.
Or involuntary lethal injection or something. Just kill.
This is, hold on. Let me let him finish.
Lethal injection or something. Just kill them. Or involuntary lethal injection or something. Just kill them.
Did you hear that? My youngest brother has been homeless for over a decade. We lost our parents at a young age. There were no social safety nets here. I've tried to help him many times, and these programs will kick you out and are not adequate enough because there's no resources for them. Just call, if you don't believe me, just call any rehab place near you or any shelter near you and ask them if they have a bed. Ask them if they have a bed to get in right now. But more than that, there's a lot of people that are experiencing tough times right now in America. We just talked about the soy boy farmers in Arkansas that are pleading with the government for help because they might be homeless soon. In a national show, this is on, like, your grandparents can watch this, and they probably do, just advocated for lethal injection, and this guy nonchalantly just said, hey, just kill him. I want everyone to take that in, because this week, people like this, and I do mean like this, Republicans, were trying to condone political violence, or actually they weren't. They were saying we're being attacked and the political violence has to stop, even though they were being attacked by their own kind, just a more fascist sect of them, all while in the same breath saying you're going to pay the left, which it wasn't them. You know, just a real slick excuse to try to bring on more violence. And if you wonder why you were so confused this week at being like, well, if you're saying we're being attacked and we shouldn't have that, then why are you trying to threaten other people? Like, if none of the words they say make sense, I want you to understand that this is what they watch daily. And when you can nonchalantly, and irregardless of whether I have family or homeless or not, the fact that, you know, these people also pretend they'll wear a cross on their neck, totally not understanding that Jesus, once he left home, he didn't buy a house and settle down. In fact, when he talked about marriage, I'm pretty sure he said, you know, Moses told you that you could get divorced, or said something about Moses. And then he said, and I say, if you even imagine a woman in your mind, that's already adultery. You know, these frauds, these people that like to say words because they get paid a lot of money by a guy who makes money off of division, have normalized a good portion of our country to believe that's okay. And at the same time, there was a dude this week who was just talking about the things Charlie Kirk said, because Charlie Kirk advocated for what happened to him. That's not my belief. Those were his. If you're mad about that, for all the people who want to memorialize him, you know, it's like, then memorialize him the way he wanted. You know? If you want to memorialize him, put this on the t-shirt.
I think it's worth to have a cost of, unfortunately, some gun deaths every single year, so that we can have the Second Amendment to protect our other God-given rights.
Okay? That's how you memorialize him. Put that on a shirt. Put this on a shirt. He advocated for exactly what happened to him. Exactly. Again, I'm somebody, and like many people in America, just we need common sense gun laws. We need so much that the world is doing that this shouldn't be normalized here, and somehow it is. But if you're wondering, you know, how we got here, I would just say that what he just said is political violence and advocating for it. And when you know that the president of this country watches this dude and usually gets like a lot of ideas from this dude, and also this month, no, because now it's September. Also last month, when the president was going to golf and saw homeless people in DC and said, we got to make them illegal, arrest them, clean up the city, send in the military. You got a feeling he's already on par with what this dude's saying, you know? And if you missed it, I think it's down here. Where is it? Where is it? Here it is. Right here. That's what that Brian Kilmeade said. And that is advocating for political violence. Unless he's advocating for him to just do it on his own, which is even weirder. You know what I mean? Because this guy was talking about the government doing stuff. So maybe he's just self-snitching on what he does late at night. Anybody seen that Christian Bale movie? I don't know. But it makes me want to bring up, you know, the paradox of tolerance. Because some people go, oh, and the only people right now silencing free speech are the ones threatening people that if they don't act accordingly, if you don't honor somebody the right way, or if you don't do what we say, if you hurt our feelings, and we're going to make sure you pay. It's what happened this week. There was this dude, Mike Dowd or something. I only know Michael Dowd from the 78. Is that the precinct? The 76? I forget. We interviewed him when I worked in radio. He was a corrupt cop. So when I hear Michael Dowd, I think a little differently. But I guess there was some dude on the air, Michael Dowd, who just basically reiterated what Charlie Kirk really said. They weren't trying to whitewash they weren't trying to laundry his takes, because he had horrible takes, you know? And anybody would tell you that's a leftist. To like, we're advocating for a better world, not the status quo or worse. You know, I think it's horrific that kids in this country have to go to school scared or have to learn drills to stay safe. Absolutely bewildering, because I didn't have to do that growing up. That's how long ago that was, that this world was not this. And we don't have to have it like this. Fascism tolerates no dissent, correct. So if you haven't seen this, it's really interesting, but I'll just read the end. As paradoxical as it may seem, defending tolerance requires not tolerating the intolerant. Why? because the intolerant will get rid of you right away. Like the great Fred Hampton once said, we got to stop fascism because fascism will stop us all. Mental illness has been accepted and treated as okay. Well, I would even say this. Anybody listening to this guy going, that's mental illness. You've been normalized to think human life is worth nothing because they don't have a home. Like, that's, like, hear what I said. He's saying, well, they don't have a home, so their life is worth nothing. The same people who think life starts at a heartbeat or whatever, you know, life starts in a zygote, or I really don't know the science. I think it's stupid. They try to claim they're the land of the free, but regulate women's bodies. Like, my Christ. It's like, it's the party of irony. But I would say mental health is not just like being able to access things, but also being aware of what you've been normalized into. And anybody watching this dude who says stuff like he just said, that's not normal. It should be that. I don't know how to explain it, because it's like, if you ever saw that on TV, you should be like, oh, this is a horrific show. Like, it should have came with a warning up front saying like, hey, this is kind of like, remember that DVD Faces of Death that was circling around? Like, this guy's like advocating for stuff like that. So Katie Sue, who? Katie Sue. I wish I could give you way more than one like. Hey, I appreciate that. I always forget. Hit like, hit subscribe, hit the notification bell. My name is Rob. I take you on, where is it? I take you on a vision quest. Okay, folks? That's where we're going, a vision quest. This is my vision quest. I say F a dream job, just to have a dream, man. And we're going to get there, but we got to tax wealth. There have been so many people who have been normalized by shows like that, where they're like, hey, this is totally okay. You know, Elon Musk in 2012 had $2 billion. Now he has $273 billion. Look at all this. Meanwhile, the minimum wage, still $7.25. And that's even wrong. It's been since 2009, not since 2012. They did that for the meme. But it's been $7.25. Mind you, all these guys' companies just got a tax cut, a permanent tax cut. Trump cut their taxes in 2017, and he extended that this year with his bogus bill where he kept their, when J.D. Vance went on Theo Vaughn's, this is why I think Theo Vaughn is despicable, because you shouldn't be doing the political propaganda thing unless you just know anything. You just have to like look at Google. We have this amazing thing. It's called Google. Maybe you have Ask Jeeves. I don't know. But if you have Ask Jeeves, you go in, you go, hey, Jeeves, I got a question for you. And JD Just Dance Vance went on Theo Vaughn, and he was like, we're looking to keep, not raise taxes. But the thing is he cleverly worded that. Taxes weren't going to get raised. Taxes were going to go back to what they were before Trump cut them in 2017. So it wasn't raising taxes. What it was is J.D. Vance was propagandizing Theo Vaughn, who's a dum-dum, and he'll admit that. He's a dum-dum. This is not me saying it. He's always like, hey, just a dumb hick, when I wear my hat backwards and I say stuff like, I used to live next to that Duke guy who headed the KKK. We'd work out together. Yeah, totally normal. And then he has Just Dance Vance on, from White Trash Soliloquy, or I don't know what his book was or his movie, Trailer Park Soliloquy, or the Haiku of the Garbage Fire. I don't know what his book is. He's got like a book, and J.D. Vance goes on and totally lies to his face, and because he knows it's out of Theo Vaughn's depth. That's why he went on that show, because Theo Vaughn wouldn't ask questions, would just play nice and propagandize him right to his audience. Nobody understood that, they were keeping these guys' taxes at a lower rate than what you pay. Ha 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 ha, gotcha. I'd imagine that's what J.D. Vance said after the show. Why is it so bad? Net worth doesn't mean taxable income. No, what their companies bring in is taxable income. I was just showing you how much their net worth grew in 10 years, while the minimum wage has stayed the same. Do you understand that? So the wealth inequality, all the people who are like, ooh, There's foreigners coming in and they're taking all the money. It's like, no, dummies. There's only a few people. That's why they're called the 1% that are hoarding all the money. But you can on your own look up how much Amazon paid in taxes, Netflix, Tesla. You can look that up. You might be shocked. You clowns crying about their pay is silly. These billionaires don't earn a work paycheck. They all have their money through their shares. Yep, GM, that's how they structure their compensation packages. That's why Reagan in 1982 made stock buybacks legal, because it was illegal before Reagan because they thought it was artificially inflating the stock at no real value. You know, the company didn't do anything different. They just they bought all their shares back and made scarcity on the market. So that's why you've seen over the past few years hundreds of billions of dollars invested in stock buybacks. And that's why really we should be taxing these people much more, because they don't, like I think you said, they don't earn a paycheck. Well, they don't earn any of that money. They're not out there working hard. Did you see Elon Musk and how much he tweets? If you believe Elon Musk's work hard, I want you to tweet every time he does at work. When you're at work, I want you to get on your phone and start tweeting every time he does. And if your boss comes over and goes, what the fuck are you doing? You got to go, I'm working really hard. That's what Elon does. But you've been propagandized to believe they're worth $1 billion. And like the Fox News guy said, you know, if you don't have a home, then that's what they think of you. And the worst part about it is, so there's been a lot of talk about empathy this week. Oh, hold on one second. Hold on one second. All right. Carrie says they want you to believe it's unfair. They were paying 39% on the money they made, over hundreds of thousands of dollars. They're not paying 39%. The corporate tax rate got cut to 20%, I believe it was. Hold on. %. Large companies pay 20%. So just so you know, in America, the past, I don't know how many years, if you're a worker, which if you go to work, stop it. Hold on. Stop. No. My God. Never get a cat and a wicker light, okay? Never get a cat and a wicker light. This little cat, I love you, but stop with the wicker light. Stop, please. Never get a cat and a wicker light, okay? We all learn that, write it down. Get off of Temu, don't buy the wicker, okay? But if you're a worker, if you go to work every day. I know some of you go to work and you're like, I'm fine. I don't care about the price hikes. You like to brag like how you're good. So who cares about everybody else? I'm sure you watch that Brian Kilmeade on Fox News. I'm sure you love his take on, human life. If you're a worker, you pay 22%, roughly. 22% in taxes. Large corporations now pay 20%. Will still pay 20%. It's a continued tax cut from 2017. How's that feel, America? How's that feel, right? For the working people, thinking about you. Where was the other meme that I had? That was, hold on, I gotta find it. That was very Trumpian. Oh, here it is. This is the meme. This is the other story. They halt the IRS crackdown on major tax shelters. Also, when Doge, they spent $14 billion of our tax money telling people to stay home and not work. When they fired the IRS people who were working on going after the wealthy. Because the wealthy, if you don't know, they can write off yachts. They can write off all these absurd expenses. So we got to change those laws. But what they did was they fired the people who were trained to, audit the really wealthy. Why do you think they did that? Again, for the working people. While this stuff is happening, there's soy boy Arkansas farmers crying that they're going to lose their farm because of the tariffs. And what is Trump doing again? Hold on. Oh, here he is. Did you see the video of him today dancing to YMCA? Did you see that? Did you see the video where he's dancing? Don't you know after you lose a close friend, you immediately go to a huge event? I don't know what event it was. And you're being filmed and you just start dancing away. Looks like he's really grieving. Interesting. Miguel, taxing rich people is stupid. I'm not even going to read anymore because that comment's stupid. I should not even read it. We've been giving the rich and corporations tax cuts since, I don't know, the dawn of time. It sounds like I'm talking to Reagan. Like, don't worry, if they have more money, it will trickle down. The only part of trickle down is trick. God, why are people, why are so many people so used to the status quo? It's funny because you heard a lot of people saying, I voted for change. That's why, they didn't want a second Biden administration. So they said, I wanted something different. But when I bring a different idea, like let's tax billionaires into extinction. Let's tax them so there's no more billionaires. And let's use that money to fund homeless people, addiction, mental health, healthcare. We could all have, even you that don't want to tax the rich people. Either that or you're a bot. Hold on, let me put on the deep fake. Ah, he got me. He was a deep fake. Because if you're here and you're going to say we shouldn't be taxing wealth, we should tax workers more. Because, the government operates off of taxes, guys. And it's got to come from somewhere. So that guy Miguel says, don't tax those rich people who have so much money they or have foundations to give it all away. He says we should tax all you poor people, all you people working who voted for change and worried about the price of egg and rent and mortgages and all this stuff. We should tax you guys. We just got to tax all of you and a lot more because we could tax one billionaire out of extinction and we could get billions of dollars. We could get hundreds of billions of dollars taxing billionaires. But no, let's tax all the people who are making six figures and below. This is solid economics, That's brilliant. I love it. Okay. It's so funny. Say thank you to me, MAGA, President Reagan. Tony O, dude, live your life. I am. And I do a live stream. Not you, Tony O. Tony, you don't hit subscribe. Everybody else, hit subscribe, hit the notification bell. I take you on a vision quest where we imagine a better world. Not this status quo bullshit that we got right now where people are like, hey, don't tax the wealthy people. They can only go to Ibiza 40 times a year. How are they going to afford that? He can only be on Twitter all day long while he just buys whatever he wants and brings in Saudi money into America and they buy up all your land and your farms. They're going to own everything soon. And you can thank Miguel because he was like, don't tax them. They need that money. They need billions of dollars. I know there are people who are homeless in America and there are kids going hungry and people are losing their houses and farms, but you don't really need that money, do you? The wealthy people who have so much money they don't know what to do with it, they really need that money. So it's brilliant. Brilliant. John Q. Public. It sounds dumb. Taxes are a good thing. Unless you're total anarchist and you hate the fire department and the police station, the post office, and the military. Listen, maybe John Q is saying zero taxes because he wants no more military. All right. You said it, John Q, not me. No more military from John Q. He says no more taxes, no more military. Because you know that's what goes away. Or maybe you're just too dumb. I don't know. There's a lot of dummies out there. I mean, people listen to Joe Rogan and Charlie Kirk. A lot of dummies out there thinking these people were politically debaters. They're not. Propagandists. That's all it is. They're propagandizing you to accept the status quo and maybe possibly worse because they think it won't happen to them. And I'm here to tell you that's propaganda. We are for the people, by the people, we the people. And we can push for a better day, but we all have to go, guys, I think the people who have $1 billion can spare the extra money for taxes. If you can buy Twitter and then devalue it right after you bought it because all the white trash rubbish you put on there, if you can make it worth 75% less than it was and you can burn that kind of money, you can afford to pay more taxes. Backtrack, rewind. It's a total mind wash. We can all be rich if we worship the rich. Materialism is the answer. Consumerism is the answer. Bye, bye, bye. Well, backtrack, rewind. What I like to try to teach people is that here in Massachusetts, and I'm going to leave you with this because it's kind of late, and you guys got to get to bed. I got to put you to bed. So hit subscribe for when I come back tomorrow. I'll come back tomorrow and we'll figure this out. But what I love to tell people is here in Massachusetts, we put in a millionaire's tax. It was something like 2 to 4%. Any income over $1 million, right? And people fear-mongered. Guys, this happened in 2022. I got flyers to my door almost every day from some billionaire family saying the billionaires will leave, jobs, all the fear-mongering tactics. And guess what? I said, I don't believe it. I don't buy it. I know the history. I've read some books. I've done a little research, and it turns out you guys are lying because you're just greedy. In the Bible, don't be greedy. It says it. Don't be a greedy. Don't be a greed monster. Jesus didn't like you because you're a greed monster. And turns out we passed that millionaire's tax in Massachusetts. And guess what? I was hoping all the millionaires were going to leave. I thought Cape Cod was going to be awesome. It's just going to be us again in the summer, kicking back, drum circles, bonfires, marshmallows. No, the billionaires didn't leave. The millionaires didn't leave. You know what happened? If you really want to be a millionaire, in Massachusetts from 2022 to 2024, our millionaire population grew by 35%. We got 35% more millionaires after taxing them more. So if you want to be a millionaire, you got to tax the millionaires. Why? Because it goes back into the social safety net. So there's a whole thing that can explain that. But the long story short is the fear-mongering didn't work. We in Massachusetts said, we're not scared to try something new. Let's fucking tax them. You know, go ahead, threaten us with a good time and leave. What are you going to do? Miss Cape Cod? Yeah, you're going to miss the islands. You're going to miss Massachusetts. Massachusetts is awesome. They weren't leaving. We called the bluff on their empty threat. Okay? Just like when the billionaires are like, we're going to leave America. It's like, good, get the fuck out of here. It's awesome here. We like our country. Then you leave. Oh, because you're going to pay a little in taxes? You're not going to go broke. You're not going to lose your house, billionaires, if you get taxed more. But some people are advocating for it. But what I'm here to tell you is we tax them. And not only is school lunch debt not a thing, that word, we eradicated it. I couldn't believe America made up school lunch debt for kids in America. They made that word up for American kids. In Massachusetts, we said, fuck that word. We got rid of it. Every kid gets breakfast and lunch for free in school in Massachusetts. If you want to get a bachelor's degree, you can go to school for free and get a bachelor's degree at the community college for free. From a millionaire's tax, not even a billionaire's tax. Isn't it interesting? You don't hear that on the fucking news every night, huh? We need universal care. We need it. Oh, well, friends.
Gentlemen, this is the Democracy Manifest.
Oh, I gotta delete that one.
What is the charge? Eating a meal? A succulent Chinese meal?
So, guys, with all of that being said, and for the people in the comments that are trolling,
you're not the boss of me.
You're not the boss of me. You can't tell me what to do. And don't forget, folks.
And the enemy is the oligarchy.
It is. Because there's people that love to chirp and say some dumb stuff, like Rob Barker, who is probably a circus barker. Taxes are not American. If you know anything about the founding of the country, they were calling for taxation with representation. But go ahead, keep believing what. I'm guessing you go to school in Oklahoma? I heard that was the dumbest state. I'm from England. Universal health care isn't the best. Kahono, let me just say this, because people from Canada go, we have to wait in long lines. Kahono, would you rather have to sell your house because of your medical debt? We have this thing called medical debt here. So what I advertise to people, because you got to advertise to everything's a marketing plan. What I say is we look at England, we look at Canada, we look at the Swedish, the Norwish, the Danish. We look at all those countries that have universal healthcare and we go, what works, what doesn't, how do we improve it? Just like we did when we started America. That's an idea. I know people are so dead set on thinking inside the box, going, well, they wait in long lines in Canada. Do you want a long line or would you rather go in debt and sell your house because you got cancer? Like, I want you to think of the options. You know what I mean? When people in my chat have been like, my grandmother lost her house because my grandfather got sick. That's what happens in America. This is a normal occurrence. Watch a Michael Moore movie. So what I'm saying is, okay, it's not the best. It's better than losing your home because you got fucking sick. It's better than having to take out a credit card because you got sick. And this is really happening here. So what I say is we look at what everybody else is doing and we steal it. And we make it better. We go. All right, guys. Hit subscribe. Hit the notification bell. Much love. Much respect. Be kind to each other. Have empathy. They do not wait in long lines. People with greatest need are treated first. C. McKay. I'm just saying what I've been told in the comments. When I bring up we tax billionaires have universal health care, people like to go, oh, it's not the best. Okay, tell us what's wrong and we'll fix that and we'll make it better. I would like America to be the envy of the world where it's our healthcare system. They're like, how are those people living so long? Because right now we're paying the most in the world and we're our lifespans are declining. It's weird because if you pay a lot, you should get a lot more. But anyways, people are like content with it, you know? People are totally content with it. There's people in here going, you know what? I'd rather just, go broke because of medical debt. It's a real thing. People are infected with the stupid virus. Right now, New York City Democrat candidate. Are you talking about you don't mess with the Zohan? And you guys should look up Graham Plattner. He's running in Maine, and he is pushing for billionaires' taxes. Solus, good to see you. Have a good night. Emily, good to see you. Have a good night. Backtrack Rewind, thank you for the comments. Yargnod, hopefully I pronounced that correctly. And CJ, we were talking about mental health. I got to wrap it up. It's late. And to keep your mental health safe, you got to rest the noggin. So, Tyler Joyce, you all advocating for this system are dumb. Yeah, here's the thing, guys. I've been living in capitalism, this system where they gatekeep your healthcare from you for a CEO to make a lot of money and their share prices to go up while they utilize AI to override what your doctor said you need. Like, that's a real thing. I'm saying that. Like, the AI is saying to your doctor, no, they can't have it. And the doctor says, no, they need it. And the AI said, declined. And that's how our healthcare system works in America. And there's some people that are really like, yeah, let's keep that. I know other countries are doing it where people aren't going broke and having AI deny them, but, let's keep doing this that hasn't worked and people are voting every 4 years to go, can we just have something different, please? It's like, guys, wake the fuck up. We can have something different, but we all got to agree, like, billionaires have too much money. We tax them, and we all get health care. And the government runs it, just like they do the VA. And if you don't like how the VA is run and you think universal health care doesn't work at other places, then guess what? We look at what has been wrong. We have scientists and, really smart people in this country. We look at all the things that are going wrong, and we go, well, let's tweak this. Let's tweak this. Let's Americanize. Let's old melting pot it, okay? So, Thorben, old, in quotes, Thorn, Palantir. We got to talk about Palantir. We need this system to change. Thank you, CJ. All right, guys. Money is finite, not infinite. We can all have as much as we want. Jargnard, if you believe money is finite, then, and if anybody does, then you will have a problem with the people hoarding the most of it. And there are certain people, Jeff Bezos, Mark Zuckerberg, Elon Musk, that are hoarding all of it. It's not people coming to this country looking for a better life. Okay? I want you to think about that. If you believe money's finite, and there's only a certain amount to go around, we should be looking at the people who have all of it. They won capitalism. We'll name a dog park after them. But fuck them, they could be taxed more. Okay? I want you to think about that when you're laying your head down tonight. Money's finite. Who has all of it? Oh, and what did they tell me? And they told me they need more of it. What does that mean for me? Dun, dun, dun. We're on to something, folks. We're breaking through. That's right, socialism. If you're scared of socialism, you're scared of yourself. Socialism is social power. That means power to the workers. That means the people get the profits, not the exploitation of the people, where it goes to a CEO who did none of the work, who just sat in a desk all day. You don't even know if he clocked in. That's right, socialism. Do you like the military? Valerie, that's socialism. That's a government-funded, taxpayer-funded entity run. Do you like the post office? Do you like the police department? Do you like the fire department? Do you like the VA? That's socialism, folks. Do you like a union at your work? Some of you don't, because I think you're bots. Socialism. Don't let it be a scare word. Go on the internet tonight. Do some reading about it. Stop letting Republicans tell you that it means everything you're scared of. Seriously, guys. Like, when I was growing up, we had to go fucking to a library. We had to find a ride, get to the library, read a book. You have it all in the palm of your hands. Do yourself a favor, okay? Do yourself a favor. You hear a word, you go, that means everything I don't like all in one. Oh! If you're scared of socialism, you're scared of yourself. You're scared of you, we the people having power. And there are some people that are scared, fragile eagle people, that want a big, strong, skibbity beta to tell them what to do, be a fascist leader. And I don't know how to help you, you know? You go call your dad and ask him for a hug. All right, guys, much love. And be empathetic. This is what Jesus would have wanted, okay? It's not me telling you. Difficult for a rich man to enter the kingdom of heaven. Whoever receives and welcomes one child like this in my name receives me. It would be better for him to, but whoever causes one little child to believe in me and stumble in sin, to not value human life. Just so you know, Jesus wanted people to love one another, be servants to one another. So when we listened to that Brian Kilmeade story earlier, and he said he does not value human life. That's what he told you. He said this. He said, involuntary lethal injection, just kill him, talking about people who just don't have homes. Jesus don't like that person, okay? Because he is leading other people to believe that human life is not valuable, and it would be better for Brian Kilmeade to have a heavy millstone hung around his neck and be drowned in the depth of the sea. That's not me, that's Jesus. The red is Jesus speaking, folks, okay? And don't forget, love the killer whales. They're comrades. All right, folks. Via airship, 25% of the working class are financing their groceries. 86% of people in America are saying groceries are stressed right now. And there's some people who are like, don't tax the billionaires. Don't do that. They don't have enough money. They need more. So when all those Arkansas soy boy farmers fail and lose their farms, those people could come in and buy it. You're advocating for... don't say that, Lisa Mayer. He was a propagandist and really devalued life, you know? If you want to say that, then you got to just... What you need to do is understand that he advocated for what happened to him. I had the audio clip. I'm not going to play it, but just don't. Don't in mind. Go somewhere else. Go somewhere else. He was a propagandist funded by the NRA and billionaires to make kids, streamline kids into white nationalism. It is absolutely disgusting what he did. And the ironic thing is people like me are saying, like, here, you know, there are states where we have gun control. We can do better. Anyone that thinks, you know, what's happening in schools in America is normal, it's not natural. And you've been normalized into it. You've been propagandized into it. And this dude advocated for it. And it's so disgusting. He advocated for what happened to him. And here I am on the opposite side. People who he dehumanized normally and every day dehumanize so many people are like, that shouldn't be happening. That shouldn't be. Maniac Daddy, you shut your fucking mouth. I got a lot of trans friends, and I'm not even going to have you bringing that rubbish in here. Thank you, CJ. I was going to block them. It's just hate. People go, this is the land of the free, but don't be who you are. Shut your mouth. Shut your mouth. All right, guys. Have a great night. Be empathetic. Remember, if you believe it's the land of the free, you should want people to be who they are. Think about that. It's going to break your brain. Much love, respect. Hit notification bell after you hit subscribe and join me tomorrow. Maybe. I usually go live every weekday, but maybe tomorrow. Peace. Thank you, everybody. CJ. Raygun, good to see you. And everybody else. Everybody else that isn't some troll so fragile that there can't be anybody else than me. These people don't even know any trans people, and they're just hate mongers. So just, shut your mouth. How about that? Shut your mouth. I won't deal with bullies. I won't deal with bullies or ironic fools who think they live in the land of the free and then tell people how to live.